didn't wanna have to be.
What's going on, you all? Coach Reese here, Pro Athletics, Fitness, and Athletic Performance. Let's get into throwing the uppercut. The uppercut we're going to work on today is throwing the uppercut off of the rear leg, off of that back foot. We're going to go ahead and go over the footwork in the uppercut. We're going to go ahead and get into throwing the uppercut correctly with the right form so you don't telegraph your uppercut, and to make your uppercut the sharpest that it could possibly be. So let's get right into this thing. Let's go ahead and address the footwork first, since it's the most important part. Remember, everything in boxing, from moving around the ring and punch discharge with power and placement, comes from your feet. So your feet are your most important part, all right? So here we go. We're going to get in our orthodox stance. Orthodox meaning I'm right-handed. So my right foot is going to be back, my right hand is going to be back, and everything left on me is going to be lead. So my boxing guard is facing this way. I've sat down an inch in my stance. Right foot is off the ground. So if you go back to the video where I taught you all how to throw the cross, the right-handed shot going forward, what I did was turn that right foot, turn the hip, and discharge through the arm. So the kinetic was right leg, right foot, right hip, torso, and discharge through the arm. You use the same kinetic to release the uppercut. So the uppercut comes from a roll of the shoulder, an extension of the arm. So roll and extend. A common mistake made when people first learn how to uppercut is they scoop. They scoop the ice cream, or they scoop like a construction vehicle or whatever. So you don't want to scoop, because if you scoop down there as you discharge, that's where your power has went, and now you're going to use nothing but upper arm to kind of give a slapping motion, versus coming through, boom, with the right kinetic energy to discharge the punch correctly. So what you're going to do slowly is turn the foot, turn the hip, roll the shoulder, and extend the fist. So foot, hip, fist. Again, foot, hip, fist. Foot, hip, fist. Those are your three kinetic points to make sure that you are discharging that punch correctly, and that you're making sure that you use the entire right side of your body to apply the correct force. Also take note on where my uppercut is extending to. Foot, hip, fist. Out here. Common mistake made, people uppercut right here. Unless you're in for infighting and power fighting, or an inside fight here, your uppercuts and your punches are not going to land here. If I throw my jab out, my uppercut is going to hit that point right there, because what? I've just measured where I'm going to touch the opponent at. So here is where I must traject that uppercut out to. So good practice for range is what? Shoot the jab, and then foot, hip, extend. All right? Boom. And then afterwards, you can just start swiveling a bit and making sure that when you're throwing this punch, you're not taking your head forward with you. That's like delivering the meal to somebody who's hungry. Don't come in with your head. Boom. You see how I'm off center and I've lost, boom, center mass? There's no power and there's no force in that, and there's no defense coming behind that. I've just pretty much, boom, took the meal to the lion. What I need to do is stay back so I can see anything that I may have coming behind, and I can protect afterwards. So make sure you act as if there's a pole stuck in your head and you can't move it, and all you can do is swivel like a tornado right there on the uppercut. Let's take a closer look at that shoulder trajectory when it comes to throwing the uppercut, right? So what we're going to do is get in our boxing guard here. When I shoot that uppercut, I'm not going to scoop from the ground. There's nothing down there for me. What that did was what? Telegraphed everything over here and left me open for countering. I definitely don't want to do that. What I want to do is make sure that when I turn that hip and foot, that my shoulder just gives that little bit right there. That's all the opening I have. Unfortunately, every time you punch, there is a small opening that people can, capitalize on if you're not crafty enough and you haven't been practicing enough to close those holes. But small little window right here is, boom, that quick little shoulder roll. Notice my head isn't coming any closer to the camera. It's staying back here. Good reach, right? Boom. So that's your shoulder roll when it comes to throwing the uppercut. And notice my uppercut is coming out and towards you. It's not in here. It's out here. So make sure that you keep that opposite hand up at the same time. My left hand has not moved yet. My right hand off the back foot is what's throwing the uppercut. And finally, practicality. You take this uppercut to a bag that can give you some uppercut room. I love the aqua bag. So right here is where I'm going to actually practice that uppercut. Reaching out, trajecting out towards the bag. So notice my head isn't coming towards the bag like I told you. I'm not leaning on the bag. I'm not dropping my hand right here. What I'm doing is I'll measure with my jab, make sure that I can touch my opponent, because if I can't, my uppercut can't get across either, right? So what I want to do is make sure that I can touch my opponent with the jab and reach out and shoot that uppercut on him, all right? Make sure you throw it from the hip, foot, and traject through the arm. That's the uppercut. I hope you enjoyed it, or the uppercut off the back foot. The other video will be on the uppercut coming off the lead hand. It's a little bit more complicated, but once you get the rhythm, you'll be fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Let me know what else you might want to see on this video, and I'll get right to it, all right?